be playing in the USL final next Saturday against Rhode Island. He missed the Switchbacks win in the conference final on Saturday against Las Vegas Lights because he was away on international duty. Played up towards halfway for Ricardo Pepi. Hayden. Gray cutting inside. He's got support there from Tyreek McGee. McGee has a little bit of space. He's got Nicholson ahead. He's got Bailey making a run as well as Ream slides in with a challenge. Gray now inside for Isaac Hayden and Tyreek McGee. Lati Baudier. Now Bailey cutting onto that left foot. He's giving it away to Yunus Musa. US looking to get away quickly, and that's a lovely ball from Musa. Where now has support from Pulisic. Pepi wants it played early, and it's just too far in front of Ricardo Pepi.
Yeah, this is a lovely idea. Pepi, you can watch, he changes his run right there. Pulisic coming over and overlapping. Wait, just too much pace on it. Just the right idea for sure.
Former US head coaches in attendance here tonight. Now, of course, in MLS roles. Greg Berhalter with Chicago Fire and Bruce Arena just making a move to San Jose.
Incredible. I caught Bruce last night at the hotel. Chris Albright was there as well. We were laughing, telling some stories of the UVA days where Bruce and his wife, Phyllis Arena, came to the house that I was living at with Kenny Arena. Great friend of mine, good coach now, great player at UVA, and they were appalled at the state of our house that we were living. I don't think they visited again after that. But you know, Bruce made one of my dreams come true and calling me up to the national team and giving me a chance. It's always amazing to see him, and those are two incredible servants for U.S. soccer over the years. Berhalter was in the camp. I first got called in and yelled at me a lot for not passing the ball.
There are MLS meetings being held in St. Louis over the course of the couple of days, start of this week, which is why there are MLS head coaches in town. This ball played wide to the right side, and it's picked up by Weston McKennie. McKennie towards the edge of the box, pulls it back for Talon Tessman, lets it go to Pulisic, and it's deflected in, and it's 2-0 for the US. A dominant display, and they are awarded with 2 goals inside 33 minutes and a 3-0 aggregate lead.
I love that. That's a subtle thing, but Musa just getting turned with pressure, playing it through, and watch Tessman. He realizes he's got to make the run. He hasn't looked. Have you noticed he didn't look over his shoulder? He knew Pulisic was there, whether he got a shot or not. Just amazing awareness, and right there, he took a little glance to the left. He knows Pulisic's there. Just beautiful awareness. Obviously a fortunate deflection. But it was on target. Blake was going to have to make the save.
I'm not sure it was.
I'm saying it's on target. But that's just really well done from the U.S. in transition. And Tessman, just the awareness to dummy that for Pulisic.
We'll wait and see if it is officially given as a Christian Pulisic goal.
We can't rob McKennie of the story. It's just, he never assisted Pulisic. Now he just won't stop doing it.
Clever from Tessman in the build-up to that.
I'm really impressed with him. Yeah, I think there's a bright future for him. I mean, it's just a second start for the U.S., but he just looks like a veteran. He's very calm, very composed. You know, we'll see what happens as the quality of the opposition goes up, but he's definitely making an impression.
He said he's found it relatively easy coming into the US camps, having been with a lot of these players before in various different camps. Talked about yesterday to us how he's had to adapt his game, very different style playing in France with Lyon than it was.
And adapt his language.
The last few years in Italy, yes, he's trying to learn French. Here's Musa.
He said he and Way only speak French in camp, but he said because French is so bad, there's not a lot of that goes on.
This is Robinson. Musa down the right side. And a back flick there from McKennie into the path of Scally. And McKennie will chase this. You talked about the passes that we see from Weston McKennie. It's a trademark of what he does when he's in confident mood and so successful. I don't know if you remember that Uzbekistan game here, the 3-0. That day, he was feeling it from minute one. The passes were flying, the diagonal balls in this stadium here. Just completely dominant, and we saw it again. I mean, the pass for that first goal, the finish from Pulisic, absolutely spectacular. They'll be talking about that on the plane back to Italy tonight. Here's McKennie down the right side.
Yeah, different players, obviously, in many ways, but both played for Juventus. I remember playing against Pirlo, just marveling at how many different long-range passing arcs and spins he had. And honestly, Weston McKennie has the same thing. He picks the right spin, picks the right height for every pass over 20, 30 yards. He really crafts it.
Robinson going back towards Turner. You mentioned Pirlo there. While we're talking about great players, we've mentioned Tanner Tessman tonight, and we asked him yesterday who he watched as a kid growing up, wanted to model his game on. The four he picked were Iniesta, Xavi, Toni Kroos and Paul Pogba. So, not a bad list. Yeah. If you're going to learn off anybody.
And I'll say this, absolutely no insult whatsoever. None of those players have a lot of speed, right? None of those players are those, really aggressive and can play in a double pivot and cover a lot of ground. I mean, you could argue Pogba, but all those players are just so smooth, just like he tries to be. Just make the right decision, have it picked out before it comes to you. Efficient with your movement, efficient with your touches.
Tanner Tessman certainly taking his chance here. Scally's ball forward down the right side towards Musa. Musa's cross into the box, and the Latibodiere plays it back towards Blake, unintentionally. US Soccer on TNT is brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. In the 38th minute, it's 2-0 for the United States. 3-0 on aggregate in this CONCACAF Nations League quarter-final. Away by Blake towards the far side and straight out of play for a US throw. Pochettino looking for a third win since taking charge. He's had clean sheets in both of the wins so far, against Panama and Austin and then in Jamaica. Before Mauricio Pochettino came in, it was 1 win in 6 for the US. They were winless in 4. Tessman's ball through. Tim Weah will get there. Pepe's in the middle! And he just couldn't quite connect. And now the flag is up on the far side. Tessman will shoot, but the assistant has the flag up there for offside.
And here you go. As that ball's played through, yeah, you can see the cut of the grass. Clearly offside.
Pulisic in the 14th minute, and again in the 33rd, would be his 6th career US brace, his first since June of 2023 against Mexico in the Nations League semi-finals, if no one takes it away and makes it an own goal. Tessman's second start for the senior team, having captained the US at the Olympics in the summer. Played 87 minutes in Jamaica on his first US senior start. Blake away to halfway. Flag is up for offside. Coming up next, it is the Volkswagen halftime show. Brian Dunseth, DeMarcus Beasley and Sarah Walsh breaking down a first 45 minutes that has been very positive from the United States here. McKenzie just steps forward past Nicholson. Jamaica hardly in it through 40 minutes so far.
Yeah, and when you think about some of the weapons and some of the tactical decisions that can get them back in this game with the goals that they need, they're either not here or they've already made that tactical move to start this game. So a tough proposition for McLaren.
Latibodier plays it backwards here towards Lowe. Hayden backwards for Deschamps Bernard. Bernard made 2 starts at Copa America. Didn't play on Thursday. Gets the start here tonight. Andre Blake under a little bit of pressure here from Pepe. Cleared away. Robinson will meet it in the air. Drops towards Weah. Now Robinson. This is Pepe. Pepe can turn. Pepe will shoot! And it's a goal once again for Ricardo Pepe! What a run of form he is in right now! And it's 3-0 before half-time. And it began with Pepe's pressure.
Well, B's talked at the beginning of the game. He does the hardest thing in the game. He scores goals, but he also puts pressure. He also does the other things, the intangibles. And by the way, when you look off Christian Pulisic, who was wide open for that one-touch pass, you are a confident goal scorer. And right now, Pepe's just thinking, why would I pass it when I know I'm going to score? Lovely finish. It just rolls underneath the defender, right outside the reach of Blake. Never thinking pass. And Pepe is in form, that is for sure.
It's his 4th goal in 5 games against Jamaica. He scores in the stadium where he scored against Uzbekistan last September. And he ties his career high of scoring in 3 consecutive US appearances. He did so in 2023, scoring in the Nations League against Grenada and El Salvador, and then against Mexico. The rain starts to fall on a night when the US might well have got the job done by half-time. 4-0 on aggregate.
What a show they're giving this crowd.
Thoroughly deserved advantage.
I don't think Dunseth is getting that draw that Sarah was worried about.
This one's drilled in from a long distance there by Damari Gray, straight at Matt Turner. Matt Turner starting 13 straight competitive games for the US. Jamaica was his 28th win.
Yeah, it's not only, we talked about a dominant performance. Yeah, it's not only the score, it's just how dynamic it is. I mean, they're just enjoying themselves. And it just wonderful demonstrations of skill. I mean, what a few days it's been for me. I got to go to Vegas on Friday night, and Nike put on the Secreto Maximus with Travis Scott. Got to watch some veterans of the U.S. team, Cliff Dempsey, Charlie Davies, Mo Adu, you know, lighten that crowd up. I got to come here and watch the next stars, the next generation. It's just a wonderful exhibition so far, but obviously got to see the job out. It's just, this is the dominant performance the fans have been hoping would come in this early era under Pochettino.
I know it's a small sample size, but the best 45 minutes we've seen from this Mauricio Pochettino US team, for sure. Question marks around Jamaica. They haven't shown up tonight, but the United States have taken full advantage and have looked absolutely superb. (4-0) on aggregate. So Jamaica would need to score 4 goals to advance. Cut out by Robinson. Heading towards what we're told will be 1 minute of stoppage time. Traps towards Nicholson. Ream is able to cover. The rain is falling, and It was expected around about half-time. There were storms in the area as well. Hopefully they stay away here in St. Louis. Lowe gets a touch to it, plays this one forward, looking for Nicholson. Flag is up here for offside. Mauricio Pochettino has walked in down the tunnel. He thought it was half-time. Stadium announcer thinks it is as well, but this is offside. Mauricio Pochettino will get into the locker room and find out that the game is still going on. In fact, there goes the whistle. It was hardly worth it. But what was worth it was that first half from the United States. A wonderful 45 minutes. 2 goals for Christian Pulisic, 1 for Ricardo Pepi. It is 3-0 at half-time in St. Louis. It is 4-0 on aggregate. US Soccer on TNT is presented by Volkswagen.
The storm in the first half, Mother Nature's taking care of the storm in the second half. Look at the fans. I mean, I'd imagine you don't want to walk away from this one, even though the wind is hitting them, the rain's hitting them. What's Melissa doing? How's she doing with the weather?
Well, right now she's with Mauricio Pochettino.
Build on in the second half.
Yeah, for me it's to be now focused into start the game. That is our challenge now, you know, to try to play like it's in the game. That is an opportunity to grow and to show our mentality. That is the most important.
Thank you, Mauricio.
Well done to the umbrella holders down there, pitch side. It is swirling around this stadium here at City Park, the rain that is falling heavily right now. Jamaica would need to score 4 goals if they were to cause a second half upset here. Seems extremely unlikely. Last time they scored 4 was in October of 2023, a 4-1 win in Grenada. It's the same 11 for the US. Christian Pulisic with 2 goals. He has 1 US hat-trick. It came against Panama in March of 2022. His next goal would also be his 34th, which would tie Eric Wijnaldum for 4th most in team history. It's the first time the United States have scored 3 first-half goals against Jamaica in all of the previous meetings. This is Christian Pulisic chasing across to the far side. And he was upset at that challenge from Damian Lowe. And the referee will just have a quick word with Lowe. Tell him to calm things down a little bit.
Yeah, Pochettino has talked a lot about his relationship with the clubs that these star players are at. And if I'm sitting at home and I have one of these players on my squad and I see these conditions and I see the tackles that come in, I'm hoping that some of my stars end up on the bench. So it'll be interesting to see how he manages that. But obviously great to give other players an opportunity that are more on the bubble that he hasn't got many minutes to see them yet.
Cross it comes here towards King. King just stepping past McKennie. And wide to the left here for Amari Bell. Bell pushing forward. Cuts it inside towards Damari Gray. We're just being told by CONCACAF that it will be an own goal, the second goal, not a second for Christian Pulisic. So you can have a word with somebody afterwards about that. Register your official complaint. Way back defending there on the far side as it comes inside. Latibaudiere, the Coventry City man, plays it out to that far side. The high ball just drops behind Matt Turner's goal. It's the 35th all-time meeting between these teams, and right now it looks as if the US will be unbeaten in 9 against Jamaica since that friendly loss in 2019 in DC. That's a lovely ball from Tim Ream. Up over halfway goes Christian Pulisic. Pepi wanted it played early, but it's out to the far side there for Tim Weah. Weah back in for Tessman, who has space in the midfield and time to carry this one forward. Scally. Yunus Musa.
But props to the American Outlaws. They're almost getting louder with the rain.
Musa said he likes the fact playing on the right side. It's a very clear role. Mauricio Pochettino has been good with his communication about what he wants from Yunus Musa in that role. Said the move to the right really did help his confidence. You mentioned on Thursday, Mauricio Pochettino said it was a huge difference. The smile on the face of Musa and the way that he came into camp in a completely different level of confidence this time around to the last. Here comes Robinson pushing forward. Pulisic tries to bring it under control. Lati Bodier goes in with the challenge, and Pulisic is down. And Pepe is stepping in. Anthony Robinson, I think, in there as well, came a long way. It's one of the things Weston McKennie highlighted when he talked to us yesterday. And we mentioned it in the broadcast about the fact that you could see in that game on Thursday, the whole team responded when there was a bit of a scuffle in Jamaica.
It's that forearm, just raising it right at the end. Lati Bodier, and it doesn't get him low, but definitely some afters there, and reaches up and catches him right in the sternum.
Christian Pulisic scoring goals for club and for country. Played 90 minutes in Jamaica. This now his 12th appearance of the calendar year for the US. That is tied for most in 2024 with Matt Turner and Yunus Musa. Pulisic got a brace before against Jamaica back in July of 2019. Gold Cup semi-final 3-1 win.
Well done, Scally. Gray took it beautifully, and he's just trying to see it out. Not only Scally staying with him pace for pace every step, but also able to just toe hook it right off the knee of Gray as it goes over the end line.
We won't see this squad together again until March, when it is the Nations League semi-finals. But the US will play in the traditional January camp. They will open in Fort Lauderdale against Venezuela. First game of 2025. This ball played through towards Shamar Nicholson. Nicholson in around the back, and Turner is able to make the save. And Tim Ream will look to hook it away, and finally the flag goes up. Flag stayed down from the assistant on the far side. There is VAR tonight, with it being an official CONCACAF competitive game. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, obviously offside, but Turner, much like the penalty, just reads it all the way. It was Nichols that drew the penalty and Gray that missed it. Nichols, you can see that's very difficult. He's just trying to pivot his body, and you're never going to have a lot of pace on it when your hips are facing one way and you try to manipulate the ball, but Turner just reads it all the way.
The US again down the right side. It was started by a lovely play from Pulisic, and this is Musa racing forward here. Lowe trying to get back with the challenge. Musa's cross in, and Pepe just couldn't quite get his feet right to get on the end of that one. Came at him quickly.
Yeah, characteristic of a great goal scorer is always the footwork before the ball comes. He just sees it late, doesn't expect it to make it past the first couple of players. He wanted that one back.
We talked about that great stat for Ricardo Pepi, the fact that he is in that list of players with the most US men's national team goals before the age of 22. Donovan with 15, Pulisic 14, and then Pepi now has 13. Josie Altidore with 12, as this one comes through to Nicholson once again. Tim Ream fighting to get back, came a long way quickly, and McKenzie can stride away. Really good play from the US defensively. And Musa trying to get away here over halfway. Josie Altidore, incidentally, in town as well, was at training yesterday. It was great to catch up with him.
It was great, and Weston came up to him, gave him a big hug, and said, "When are you coming back?" Josie said, "Yeah, I'm not done." And also for Josie Altidore, he's in town. He's opened up one of his new training centers, Agility, to try to, do what he can to pay it forward. And have the young kids that was at his event last night, have the young kids get the type of training and access to the ideas that he has. It was really cool to see the players come over and hug him. I mean, what a phenomenal goal scorer he was for the U.S. national team.
Down the right, it comes for Bailey. Bailey through here, Isaac Hayden towards the box. Pulisic is the man tracking back as it's played into the middle, and Turner can't get there as it's hooked in by Damari Gray, and Jamaica on the board. Damari Gray with the goal.
And just right here, watch just the reset of this run in that tackle from Pulisic. You think he's going to make it, just not expecting the cutback. And that is a beautiful finish. Yeah, the ball comes to him a little bit flat, doesn't have a lot of pace on it. Yeah, exquisite skill there from Damari Gray.
Damari Gray with his 6th career goal in his 20th career appearance. Was taken off at half-time by Steve McLaren in that first game. Saw his penalty saved. Actually scored his first Jamaica goals in this stadium. Scored 2 in St. Louis in the Gold Cup against Trinidad and Tobago in the 4-1 win in 2023. Is that a foul? Robinson trying to maintain possession. So 3-1 on the night, 4-1 for the US on aggregate. Jamaica would need 3 more goals to advance. This is Ream. Towards halfway where Pepe comes to try and get there, just knocked off the ball by Lowen. Isaac Hayden will bring it forward. Hayden wide for Bailey on the right. Isaac Hayden from the edge of the box, just took a touch on the way through from Nicholson. And Matt McKenzie's looking across, and the flag does finally go up for offside. Because Nicholson, who just got the deflection on the way through, was standing in an offside position.
Jamaica having a nice little moment right now. That goal gave them some much-needed energy.
It's the first time we've really seen him as an attacking presence tonight. First goal in the last 11 caps for Gray since October of 2023 in Haiti. Robinson carries it forward, finds Christian Pulisic. Right to the right, there's space here for Yunus Musa. Musa with the ball in towards Weah at the back post. Weah draws it in! It's an emphatic finish from Tim Weah! It's 4-1. Tim Weah is back! And a superb strike to re-establish the 3-goal advantage.
Well, this is lovely from Robinson. And Pulisic, it's behind him. A little pirouette. He takes the foul. Well done from the referee to let it play on. Excellent first-time pass. But how about this? The adjustment. Reads it. A little bit of wind. Making it hard once that ball takes flight. But this will be a good look at it. Just cushions it off the knee. Slips slightly, but gets his footwork right. And just absolutely powers it. The little top spin over Blake. Lovely finish. Check this out. Really beautiful from Weah, and wonderful after the long break and the moment of reflection for him to see him smiling in a U.S. jersey again.
Tim Weah with his 2nd goal this year for the US, his 7th career goal. And he said to us yesterday, when he was talking about having missed that first leg in Jamaica, he went from Orlando, where he'd been training with the team, straight to St. Louis instead of going to Kingston, and he visited the local children's hospital here in St. Louis. And he said what a special experience that was. And he said that if he was to score tonight here in St. Louis, he would dedicate the goal to one of the boys in there called Cole. So that goal from Tim Weah tonight, shout out to Cole in St. Louis Children's Hospital and Tim Weah. What a great visit that was for him to be seeing the children in the hospital ahead of this game.
Cole's goal.